Okay, hi everyone. I'm here with Haley Gao, who is our Arnold Open Women's Champion, and she did fantastic at the Arnold. And I think she recently competed in a pro Highland Games. So, Haley, why don't you tell the viewers at home, give them an update on what you're up to right now?
Well, first and foremost, I have my first Super Series Stage 1 this Saturday at the compound in Lockport, New York, with some of the Buffalo crew, as you so nicely put it. John and Scott and Hannah, they were all at the Arnold with me. So we're all pretty excited. We've been training hard together, kind of at least once a week all together. Some of us more than that. So we're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, well, that's great. And obviously we're going to see you next year in the pro class in the Arnold for sure next year. So tell us about the recent pro Highland Games. How did that go?
Well, I was against a pretty stacked group of women. Some of the girls I've been kind of following or friends with for a couple of years now. Didn't really think, because a couple of them were from California. A girl from Louisiana, another girl from Arizona. So kind of like, when are we all gonna get together? And the No Fame Games reached out to all of us individually and asked us to be, their inaugural pro women Highland Games class. So it was pretty exciting to be a part of. I didn't do as well as I wanted to, but the experience was really great. And I kind of, know that I might be good for my area, but on a world scale, on a global scale like that, it's definitely something to, work toward. Motivating, absolutely.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, and anytime you can bring more fish in the sea, the pond gets deeper, everyone gets exposed a little bit, because there's levels and then levels and then levels. I know the exact feeling, believe me.
Yeah, I mean, you can be a big fish in a small pond, and then you find a bigger pond and you're a normal sized fish. So I think it was a humbling experience. It was very exciting to see where I stack up and where I can improve. And that's always my drive as an athlete with any sport I participate in, is just making sure, I want to be against the best. I don't want to be the best against, what I'm used to. I want to push myself, and I want to make sure I'm aware of what everybody else is doing. And it goes for arm lifting too. I kind of got my eyes on everybody I can. Whether it's social media or looking at past numbers, I'm aware of it, and pushing myself to certain numbers and benchmarks.
Well, that's outstanding. And obviously, without revealing anything, because you're competing in just a few days, how has your training been leading up to the Super Series Stage 1? How are you feeling going into it?
I'm feeling great. I'm really confident with my improvement from, I just started last year for the Super Series. That was kind of my first dive into arm lifting or grip sport in general. So this will be my year anniversary. So that's pretty exciting. I've enjoyed the process. There's certain lifts that are more frustrating than others. The country crush block is a challenge for, a lot of athletes. I enjoy it. That's actually one of my favorite ones. I don't know if that makes me a masochist or or what, but I like it. And the fat grips can only improve my other lifts. So, I'm kind of dealing with that. I know that my axle will increase because of all the work I've done with the fat grips. So that's exciting. Fingers crossed, Armlifting USA has it at the Olympia and the Arnold next year. So I can put it to good use.
Yeah, well, we're gonna announce the I am going to announce the results for the Olympia, the events for the Olympia after stage 1. I'm waiting on a couple more deals to go through. It should be ready by July 1st, and I'm optimistic that I can announce those events to everyone. We're looking at a very exciting format. I think the fans will love it. I think the athletes will think it's super fun. I'm very excited, both as an organizer and hopefully as an athlete myself. It should be really good. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. What are your plans for this summer? Obviously, the Super Series you're competing in. Do you have any other plans to compete in anywhere else, or just training? What are you looking at for the summer?
Training wise, arm lifting is a priority for me right now. I have goals that, the guys at the compound know about. I don't really want to share them with the world too quick, but I do have goals as far as that sport's concerned. My priority being the Olympia in November. I want to do great for stage 1 and stage 2. Hopefully some of the events are going to be what we see this summer. So I will already have kind of a leg up, or at least kind of cross train them. So there won't be any surprises in November, but Highland Games as well. So I kind of have to train for both sports at this time, which has kind of been a challenge. But grip helps everything. So it kind of translates just fine. And then the compound, there's a strongman show in August as well. So we've kind of got a full schedule. Just keep being active and training. It helps when you have a good team behind you. And I think we've built something special for all of us to kind of motivate and push each other. So I think you should see big things out of our group this year.
Well, that's very exciting. And as you know, because that's when I met you in person, I've been to your compound in Scott's gym there in Lockport. It's really a cool place. I could feel a really positive energy from all of you guys, and very welcoming. And I've traveled all over the world, so that was very nice to go to my home state. And even though upstate New York isn't my home, it was great to visit and to meet you guys all in person. And as you know, because my son's going to college 45 minutes from there, I'll be back. You can count on that.
I'm very excited to see a game. I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, his college, believe it or not, they just one person they just signed, unrelated to arm lifting, but is the Division III National Player of the Year, is going to Hobart for his graduate degree, for his master's degree. And because of COVID, he had one more year of eligibility. So they're going to be looking pretty strong with the National Player of the Year. And I've seen the kid's highlight video. He can jump out of the gym. He's insane. So there'll be a lot of fun spikes going on there. And hopefully my son, Nate, can add to those. But Haley, one thing I'd really like to talk to you about is the women's side of arm lifting. Obviously, I just said my son is a college athlete, but also his 2 older sisters are also college athletes. Katie runs cross country and track and field and is the captain of her team next year as a junior. And Allison, my oldest daughter, just graduated in May, and she was the captain of her soccer team for 3 years. So my kids I am a big proponent of college sports, and especially women's athletics. So I know, and you know this too, there are women, dozens, maybe even hundreds, that are watching this stuff on the Instagram, on the YouTube, on places, but haven't kind of put it out there and tried a competition. What would your advice be to those women to compete or to try arm lifting if they're in, say, Highland Games or in strong woman or in powerlifting? Would your advice be to them?
To just jump right in, to find a group. I mean, especially with the growth arm lifting is seen this year alone. And again, this is my first year, but already since last year, like there's an event being announced kind of every week on social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, and you guys are really good at promoting it, kind of sharing it. Okay, this is where we're going to be. So everybody can find a place to do it. And if not, you can start at home. And I mean, this is something where you can get some of the smaller implements like the fat grips. You can get them right on Amazon. I got mine off there for $30. It's easier than you might think to jump right into something like this because it is less taxing on your body. You know, there's powerlifting components to it, but it's not so much, you know, high numbers. There's a little bit more of finesse and involved, and it hasn't destroyed my body. Anytime I'm lifting for arm lifting, it's an enjoyable experience because I know I'm not going to be completely sore other than my forearms and wrists and stuff like that. But I think women in general just need to feel more confident and comfortable going for it. You know, there's a lot of kind of attitudes even still with women in strength sports, women gaining muscle. You know, it's not looked as positively as whatever feeds we're all given it during our lives growing up, but it is something that's really important. And I try to show my own daughter that it's important to be strong. It's important to set goals, achievable goals, and kind of exceed them with hard work. So I think to just kind of go for it. I'm rambling, but
No, it's a message that I hold near and dear to my heart because I played basketball in college. I did track in college. Then I started powerlifting, throwing outside of college. I tried Highland Games. I tried strongman, and arm lifting is what I fell in love with. And it was in its primitive state early in like 2014, but and now look at me, I'm running the thing. So it's I agree. If I didn't try it, I would never have known. It was good for me.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm lucky enough to know Scott and him kind of have his first jump into arm lifting at the Arnold a few years back. So he introduced it to me. I was kind of blown away by it, like just wrapping my head around how anyone can hold something so small and lift such an extreme amount of weight kind of blew my mind. And then, you know, just kind of pushing yourself, seeing like, okay, can I do something like that? And just being pleasantly surprised as the numbers incrementally go up.